Double XL up in the pen, you can't shake that. All the way gassed up, full tank, man. Moving too quick, keep the cameras in the playback. Dang, so tell me how you feel with it. You put a lid on it, I ain't got no chill with it. This right here your problem, you gon' have to deal with it. Lay it on the line, high risk, that's the meal ticket. Yeah, we ain't never fall back. Hold our ground where we at. Never fall back. No lies on facts. We gon' stay right where we at. We ain't never fall back. Yeah, we ain't never fall back. And you can find me where I'm at. We ain't never fall back. We ain't never fall back. And you can find me where I'm at. We ain't never fall back. Been way down, never falter. Came with the hands out, get them off us. I'm 24/7 in the office. Pay attention cause I ain't repeating offers. Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you gon' get exactly what you asked for. Careful, whatever you bring me getting handled. I answer to no one, I don't need to hassle. Yeah, we ain't never fall back. Hold our ground where we at. We ain't never fall back. Hold our ground where we at. Never fall back. We ain't never fall.
New seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan in 100% authentic gear. Fanatics. Officially licensed everything.
Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Fins Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor, we're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process makes shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Fins Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
Attention, please. This is a TFTG public service announcement. Late night sale is Saturday as Club Exhale, 10 p.m.
Ayy, I got the recipe, never gonna let any op get the best of me. Thought it was distance, but hey, this is next to me. Talk to the spirit, you know I've been heavenly. Company definitely show your trajectory. This ain't a diss cause I say it respectfully. It's time to eat up, red like a speeder. Taking it deeper and that's how it better be. I never let the comparison get to me. I just remember the promises meant for me. I know the enemy and that he's sent for me. I keep the blood of the lemons, my centerpiece. I cannot trust in no crystals or energy. Look at the chemistry, it do not even mix chemically. Most of the tricks, they be gimmicks, they mimic the truth. It's poison and we got the remedy.
Good morning, Fin fans. This is Top of the Tailgate here at the TFTG. I am your host, Ali the Persian. Everybody hit like and subscribe. Let's get this show off the road. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am here on time. That's right. This is Top of the Tailgate. We got a lot to talk about. I got my co-host in the back already. We are on schedule. Shout out to everybody that's joining us this morning. We got 14 people watching currently. So make sure you hit like and subscribe. Let's get ready. With that ado, while you're hanging out with us, make sure you check out some of the other shows that we got around here. We got El Capitan, we got Color, we got myself, and Shake Money, Lewis, KP, Crypto, and the Tonko G. Great shows all the time. You got El Capitan Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sundays calling the game. You got Color and myself with Top of the Tailgate or Coffee and a Cup of Color. You got Shake Money with the Drive Time Smoke Lounges, calling Florida Gator games on Saturdays. And then on Sundays, he might be doing some of the away parties. He's doing shows all over the place. Check him out. And then you got Lewis all over the Twitter spaces, doing stuff here, all over the place, causing havoc, handing out aprons. Make sure you check him out. Doing shows with both Crypto and Shake Money mostly. And then in addition, don't forget KP with the fantasy talk. I'm not going to lie. This has been the hardest fantasy league I've ever been in, and it has been tough. I'm without a quarterback, trying to make trades. I'm even offering my best player, and nobody's biting. I can't believe it. Nobody really wants McCaffrey for some reason. I don't get it. All right. In addition, check out Crypto, bringing up some interesting factoids that I never thought about. Interesting conversations about special teams and the stuff that doesn't get talked about. And then you got Tonks TMI Tuesdays. So make sure you check that out. Hit like and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell. That is the key. In addition, if you like the content and you want more of it, memberships around this joint. You have 3 different levels. There's Amigos, Familia, and MVP. I think it's like as low as like $2 or $3 to join. Easiest way to donate the channel, get more content, get exclusive content, get exclusive emojis that you can banter with all the Buffalo Bills fans or anybody else up in here, right? That's a fact. You get some of that. You get exclusive content access, and you get other access as well. So definitely check out the different levels of memberships. If you don't want to become a member, but you want to donate to the channel or keep it, on low key or whatever, we do accept Cash App, Venmo, super stickers, or even super chats. I appreciate everybody that donates. It helps us keep this content going and keep it afloat. It is not the easiest thing in the world to do, so I appreciate all of you, no matter what. Even if you don't subscribe, but as long as you hit like and subscribe, or not a member, and you hit like and subscribe, I love you just the same. So appreciate all of you. That being said, check out some of the links we got below. We got Fanatics. Definitely check out Fanatics. You're officially licensed everything. If you want to know where I get my jerseys or my hats, in fact, I just ordered a new jersey using the TFTG link. And they always got deals going on. Right now, they got free shipping in the US. So definitely check that out. They have amazing stuff over there. Even your new officially traded NFLPA football cards will be brought to you by Fanatics. That's who has the deal, so shout out to them. In addition, check out Backroom Collection. You want some really nice artwork. Maybe you're remodeling the home. You want a centerpiece to your house. Check out Backroom Collections. They have amazing canvas artwork for Miami Dolphins and other sports. They also do custom stuff. They have little accessories that you can get for the little mini helmets that everybody collects. Definitely check out Backroom Collection. Family owned, family run, great quality product. Something you can hang literally anywhere and everywhere, to be honest. So definitely check out Backroom Collections. And if you need all that energy to keep up with all the content we're putting out, check out Doobie Energy Drink. It's all smash, no crash. It's infused with vitamins and minerals that actually benefit the body. You don't get all that byproduct that's harmful for the body or anything like that. Amazing flavors. And if you don't take my word for it, check out Shake Money's show. He does reviews on this stuff. I want to say every Saturday. He also has a standalone video out there where he reviews the stuff initially. He swears behind it. Doobie Energy Drink. And if you want to save 10% off there or Backroom Collections, you use code TFTG at checkout. That's right. Well, let's not stop there, right? You may have heard of a website around these TFTG parts called tftgnetwork.com. Check it out. It's your one-stop shop for TFTG everything. You'll have access to all of our shows there. You have our newsletter to keep up to date with the events that we got going on. We have blogs and articles that we're going to be writing there. In fact, I have one that should be published soon. It's going to be an ongoing article about our season. It's about, I want to say it is going to be primarily about some of the storylines that we've recently, had in regards to, our defense and our offense power and everything. So definitely keep an eye out for that. That should be dropping. I'm hoping to have it drop before the next game. So before Broncos game Saturday, I'm hoping it drops then. That also being said, there you can access, all of our Twitter feeds and up-to-date Miami Dolphin news, everything there. And our merch store. Our merch store was brought to you guys by you guys, the audience. Everything in that store is somehow related to something that was said on the panel, in the chat, our everyday subscribers, members, everybody, right? Everybody had a hand in inspiring something that's in that merch store. Definitely check it out. If you want to save 10% off your orders, sign up for the newsletter, by the way. You'll get 10% off your first. So, that being said, shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the man, the myth, the legend. Let me get his music up in here. I want to make sure we respect the man a little bit more. And here we go. How's it going, Colin?
Pretty smooth, man. Pretty smooth. How about you?
Yeah. Had to get some of the good music going for you and whatnot.
I'm always doing good with that playing in the background.
I bet you are. So, how's it going? How's everything?
Pretty good. Pretty good. How about yourself? Long time no see, man. Oh, that's right.
Just a few minutes ago. What is going on? Let's shout out to everybody in the chat. I see Heather Long replacing herself. Ooh, I like her new avatar.
Right on.
I will read this color, but I no offense to Heather. Her avatar says she loves the D, and it's a little Miami Dolphin thing hanging out of it. Heather Long. So, by the way, Color, she's very upset with you. I forgot to tell you this.
Why is that? What'd I do?
Heather Long messages me and goes, "Why did Color wait to the very last to message me, or not message you? Shout her out, I guess, on the show."
Oh, because I just like it completely, because in the morning my eyes can be a little foggy, and I literally just missed the name. I'm really apologize, Heather. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it says morning boys.
I had to scroll back up because I knew Heather was in the chat, and I'm like, well, how come I didn't see her name? So I scrolled back up, and there it was, saying good morning like always. So I felt bad.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I had made the joke that she was the TFTG groupie, right? and because she's here like every morning, and
it's nice to know you care, Heather.
I'm supposed to be the TFTG groupie. You're supposed to shout me out. I'm like, oh my god, I'm sorry. I thought it was funny.
Well, yeah, but I mean, DMing you all that just shows you care, Heather. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So anyway, she says, "Morning, boys. Getting mine now. McDonald's this morning. Have a wonderful day. Yes, my day was super amazing yesterday. Received a bit of promotion. Color. I do work in the medical field."
Oh, cool. Well, appreciate you. So does my mother. You guys are some noble individuals.
Did you say something about the medical field yesterday that I missed?
Yeah, she had said something about, like, in her greeting, she had mentioned great to save lives today. So I just assumed I presume she was in the medical field.
Yeah, she says that she works more behind the scenes, but I love what I do.
Well, yeah, and we love what you do too.
Yeah, so shout out to you.
Because, we'd all be in a quicker grave if it wasn't for people like Heather.
I don't want to know what that means. Oh, okay. Never mind. I think I get it. Never mind. She makes another comment about Michael Myers, and I'm like, I think she meant like the voiceover. I gotta fix that voiceover. Something's going on with it. It doesn't sound right.
Does it chop out on the mainstream too?
I don't know.
Because I don't know if it's my phone processing or if it sounds like that on the mainstream, but it like chops out every other word.
I try to do it live a lot of times,
Mm-hmm.
and I've done a pre-record. It just doesn't sound right. I gotta once I have the pre-record down, I think I'll use that from now on, just so I don't have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying?
That's all right. It's a journey here at the Finns Tailgate.
It's a journey.
Yeah, all the day oneers remember when it sucked. You know what I mean? And now it just sucks less.
It sucks less. Oh my god. Shout out to Daniel Barry Sports. Film Fans is in here. Doug Finn's fan pun. All right, we'll get into that a little bit. Michael K. I'm not really going to touch on that. There's a lot of different perspectives of what happened with that. That, again, if you don't want us to automatically blame judgment on somebody, we kind of have to get all the facts first. And that's still being investigated. I don't want.
Yeah, and we'd rather not drag Mark out of from underneath the whatever rock he lives under.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, I think that was the same section number that he was threatening Michael K with, 308. So I guess that's like.
Oh, I think you're right, bro.
Yeah, so that's just.
You're kidding me.
Out there. Gonna point that out there. I guess is 308 the section that you're not supposed to be in any stadium, I guess? Is that what it is? I don't know. I don't know.
That's fascinating. What a coincidence.
Yeah. So I am going to be talking about fights in the NFL. We will be talking about that here in a few minutes. But let's keep it going. You got Daniel Barry Sports up in here. Alex Rosilia. I'm sorry if I didn't say that correctly. Rise up. It's 2 at a time. That's right. It is 2 at a time. Duke Tomlinson. How's it going? Seahawk, my Northwest Ohio guy. Love it, man. I miss Northwest Ohio because we don't get those seasons and stuff like we did up there, you know? And anytime I see anybody from Northwest Ohio, I always give them a special shout out, man. So shout out to them. Facebook user, I can't see your name, but thank you. Awesome time. That's right. Michael K. Yep. Michael K. Always got to say something, don't you? Says, Ali the Persian, nice to see you wearing the cap as it was meant to be worn. Only welders and baseball catchers should allow to wear them backwards. Welders and baseball catchers. Okay.
Welders, huh?
Yeah. Well, sorry, man. That's your perspective.
Exactly.
Hey, when I was working on aircraft, we all were. When I was in the Air National Guard, we all wore our hat backwards when we were getting our hands dirty. So
I'm telling you, it's a Florida thing, bro. You know, leave it to Michael K to not understand the sun. But Michael K, if you wear your hat front ways in the South Florida sun, you will literally have a shadow imprinted on your face.
Yeah.
So you've got to wear your hat backwards, and you've got to make sure that the edge of the hat comes right at your hairline so that your forehead doesn't turn white compared to the rest of your head. You know, you got to know how to evenly tan down here. You can't just throw a hat on, otherwise you look like one of those cookies from Publix.
Speaking of hats, Freaky Friday is going to be a good one. It's in light of a new video game that's coming out soon, so can't wait for that. There's a couple.
Besides, I freckle.
Freckle. Rube, what's up, Rube? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Flava J, Sackman56. I like that. Adam Sadowski, how you doing? Manolo Rivera, how's it going? Shout out to you. Ruben Jimenez, what's up? David Debbie Kennedy.
What's up, Ruben?
David and Debbie Kennedy, I like that. Good morning.
That might be the Facebook user from earlier.
Yeah, I see it now. And Brian's Brains, this guy. How's it
We
going, bud?
cannot start the show without Brian's brains around because, somebody's got to think for us this early in the morning.
That is right. Shout out to all you. We got 24 people watching. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. We appreciate all of you, and we're going to get this show started by Coffee of the Week, right? So what is going on, Color? I'm drinking my Kona coffee. I'm just getting through it to finish it up. I have a new coffee coming in the mail soon. So...
well, that's good because, the variety is starting to get a little slim over there at the Publix, man. We got to find some kind of website with all different kinds of coffee or something.
I have a solution for you. You can buy it on Amazon. It's super cheap. You can buy the universal filter, and then you can start, dabbing into all these different ground coffees that are out there.
Yeah,
you
true.
Get your own grounder and grind your own coffee and brew it. So there you go. That's the solution to it.
Yeah.
And come to find out, I think it's cheaper, to be honest. Now that
it can be. If you drink a lot of coffee, it's cheaper.
Well,
if you're like me, where you're chilling on coffee most of the day, it definitely.
I drink at least 2 to 3 cups a day. It's pretty bad. I shouldn't. 3 is extreme. 2 is the most.
Now, in relation to getting a cup at your local McDonald's, Dunkin', or Starbucks or something, Keurig machine is cheaper than that, but it's not the cheapest.
Yeah. One thing I also noticed that depending on how much I fill the cup, the little universal filter, I can get more than 1 cup out of it.
Right.
In a Keurig, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I even have the ability to get a whole what do they call it, pot. Pot. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm still stuck on. I mean, if I drink much more of this Tim Hortons, I'm probably going to turn Canadian.
Oh God, please no.
I know. I gotta do something.
I don't need you saying A after everything you say.
I know. Tell me about it. I just trained myself to stop saying dude after everything I say, after a lifetime of it, and now I'm turning into a Canadian. It's gonna be A pretty soon.
You and Jay and some of the other Dolphin fans can hang out.
Well, Jay's a Floridian now. I guess he's stuck in Florida, living as an illegal.
Is he really stuck in Florida? Why?
That's what he said. He's an illegal alien living in Florida. That's what he said.
Well, I thought
I guess Cuba deported him, and he couldn't go back to Canada or something. I don't know.
Oh snap! Because I don't think they have. I think from Canada to Cuba, they have a lot more rights to go there or something to that effect than they do from the United States or something.
Yeah, they don't have any sanctions.
Yeah. Ooh, that sucks. I'm sorry, bro. My believe it or not, my cousin who lives in Canada, he's Canadian, and he just visited visited Cuba with his family as well. I don't know. I haven't been there, so I've never been there, so I can't really say if it's nice or anything. It looks nice from the pictures based on what I saw.
Michael K says, I told you I would send you some JA-17 medium roast. All proceeds go to what is it? Something Children's Hospital?
Oishi Children's Hospital.
I mean, that's cool. I probably would do that just for the charity of it, but you got to be careful drinking Josh Allen coffee. I mean, most coffee puts hair on your chest. His usually takes it off.
Well, I'm kind of worried that, if you drink his coffee, you're going to grow tits and start crying. So,
it definitely disintegrates your chest hair.
Okay, it's Oshai. I'm sorry. Oshai Children's Hospital. I'm sorry. The way it's spelled, it looks like Japanese or something, so I apologize.
Yeah, let me know, Michael K. Maybe I can match it or something. You know what I mean? We'll do a little charity for it. So let me know.
Well, I do have a coffee that I am going to be getting you, Color. It's going to be at least a cup of it, and that is the Goat Turd coffee. You're going to drink that live here on the show with video. We want to see you drinking it. And in turn, I will be drinking a ghost pepper laced coffee that someone told me about. So I'll be drinking ghost peppers, and
You're gonna add extra cream to that?
I'm gonna add my same amount, 2 tablespoons of creamer, right? I'm gonna still add the same amount, and I'm gonna have it probably a liter of milk here on the side.
I was gonna say, you drink the coffee, then you grab the half and half bottle and dump it down your throat.
I'll be drinking a lot of milk. That's probably what's gonna happen.
That's
Either
great.
either that, or I'm gonna be sitting here and I'll be like, "Color, hold it down for me." I'm gonna take myself off video while I run to the restroom, because that's exactly what it's probably gonna do.
You know what it's gonna look like, right?
I'm afraid.
See that meme? Do you see that meme I posted in the group text yesterday with Sebastian? When you all were arguing about Ohio State and Florida, and I just came in with the Sebastian meme.
Oh, where the guy, you're walking away from the car and the car just blows up.
Yeah, and he's like putting his sunglasses on.
Yeah, for whatever reason, when you did that, my text didn't go through, but it was like, yeah, Color, that's how it is. At least that's how you guys roll out in Florida.
That's it. Y'all are sitting there arguing, and we just blow the whole argument up. We're just like, whatever.
Let's get it clear for the audience. It wasn't an argument necessarily about Ohio State versus Florida. How it started is somebody was making comments about University of Florida. I don't rate University of Florida. People are trying to say they're the best team in college football. I'm going to call bullshit on that. And I put out some memes to express my feelings about said University of Florida Gators, right? And it went back and forth because someone had to bring Ohio State into it and kept going back and forth. So I'm like, okay, you're going to give more memes? I'll give more memes. And then somebody decided to put out a meme that actually has a picture of somebody I personally know, right? And I'm like, that's not fair, bro. I know that person. Oh man! Shout out to
Yeah, Brian's brains. We got to make sure Tua does not drink any of that coffee. Absolutely, keep that coffee away from Tua.
Yeah, keep that coffee away.
He's doing just fine without that coffee.
Actually, speaking of coffee, I wonder if the coffee that Shake Money previewed, which is the mushroom coffee, which he says it's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the same coffee that Aaron Rodgers drinks, since he's really big onto the psychedelic shrooms.
I know, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Just curious. Right?
He probably drinks Visine.
I see. Oh man, that's
cleans out your system.
I don't know, man. I think he's about the psychedelic life. Let's keep it going.
Wow, that Berkeley, man. I think somebody needs to shut Berkeley down, man. I don't know if that's where he's from, but I know he's like from that area, I think.
Yeah. All right, Color. Let's keep it moving with the next segment here. What in the world, right? I got some what in the worlds to talk about. Let's let's get into this. So first of all, let's actually address a few things. All right. Did we lose Color? Oh, there you are, Color. Sorry about that. You with us still?
Have them move the freaking mic mute button. I mean, why did they got to put it right down on the border of your phone where your back button is, man? They couldn't pick anywhere on the screen to put the mute button. God, man, every single day it happens, bro.
Yeah, I got you. All right, so shout out to Deion Sanders. If you didn't watch Saturday's night's game, it was Colorado versus Colorado State, and it was a banger, Color. That game, honest to God, I'm not gonna lie because it was late. I shut the game off because I thought Colorado was done. But somehow this game went into overtime, and somehow it went to double overtime, and Colorado ended up winning the game, right? And this was, if you remember, prior to this game, it was very personal. There was comments made by the opposing coach about sunglasses that Dion wears and about their team and their bravado and everything, right? And in the game, there was a issue where a certain defender basically cheap shotted that someone that was already in the end zone, not the end zone, the out of bounds, um, right in the chest, bro, and knocked Colorado's one of their best receivers out of the game. Actually, the best receiver they have, Hunter, I believe is his name, out of the game, bro. It was almost looked like when Waddle got that oblique injury where he's holding his chest, but it was worse. The guy was on the ground. He was knocked out of the game completely, and it was all because of a cheap shot shoulder right to the chest. He knew what he was doing, right? Well, anyway, after the game, after the fact, this player has been getting nothing but death threats and messages of threats and stuff consistently, right? Deion Sanders, on the other hand, says, who made sure to say during his press conference today, Henry Blackburn is a good player who played a phenomenal game. This is still a still young man trying to make it in life. He does not deserve a death threat over a game. I forgive him. Our team forgives him. Travis Hunter has forgiven him. Let's move on. The kid does not deserve that. He goes on to say that this is just a game, right? These are just kids playing football. That's all it is. No reason to cause death threats. And he goes on to say, I hope to God it's nobody from their side of fans or any, nobody should be doing this to anybody, let alone a player or a fan or a coach, or no matter what it is, no death threats should be made to anyone, right? Those are some of the things that he said. And I think that was a really good, an adult take on a situation, right? I think he handled it very well and very well said. I don't think anybody else could say it better than what he had stated. So shout out to Deion Sanders. I thought that was really cool. That being said, that goes into my next segue. Yesterday, there was news about a fan that was part of an altercation at the Dolphins-Patriots game. And he unfortunately got punched or sucker punched, as I've read, according to the reports. And he later on passed away. Now, it's sad. It definitely is. And I don't condone any acts of violence, not just that between Miami Dolphin fans and Patriot fans, but fans in general. No matter what fan base you are, violence is not the answer. You don't need to act all crazy. This is just a game. So what? Your team lost, right? So what? That player didn't make the touchdown or he didn't win the game. It was somebody else, right? There's no reason for the acts of fighting or anything like that. There's no reason for it. And that's the reality. And this season, I'm not going to lie, Color, there has been more fighting than any other season, it seems like. You have, and this isn't just between Dolphin fans and Patriot fans. This is across the board. There was a brawl at the Chargers-Tennessee game. People were starting to get chippy and kind of pushing and shoving. Sheriffs come in, local authorities come in to escort some people out. As they're escorting people out, it creates this mass brawl behind the scenes into the convoy area where you walk out from the stands and everything to start exiting, and it ended up becoming a huge brawl. Let's not also forget some of the biggest NFL fan fights happen at 49ers games. 49ers versus Raiders, 49ers versus whoever. There's always a brawl that comes about. In fact, I think it was last season that not only was there a brawl in the stadium, Color, there was a brawl that actually went into the parking lot and even had guns pulled out by people, right? What are we getting to, bro? This is supposed to be a fun event for people to take their families and just enjoy the game, bro. It's just a game. Yeah, I know it sucks, that your team lost. You can kick dirt, kick rocks, be pissed, maybe throw an F-bomb, but it doesn't mean you have to go attack people over it or get all violent and start hitting people and acting a fool. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Color? What do you think about this?
Well, when you have people sit on social media all day threatening to meet up with each other, it's probably a lot easier to do it when you're already there. You know, I mean, what's the difference? I mean, if social media was a real place, we would have already seen this 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's no, I mean, it's not surprising when you have a stadium full of 80,000 people that, you know, you're going to have people that act the same way they do on social media, you know, wanting to pull up on people and all this. It's why it's like, you know, it's why I don't condone all that talk. That's why I shut it down right away. And if somebody wants to play that game with me, call me a baby, but I'm calling the law. I ain't even messing around with it. Don't want nothing to do with it. I don't need it. I want to be able to go to a game, enjoy myself without having to worry about having my head on a swivel.
Yeah, I mean, come on, let's be real. I'm getting into being a season ticket holder for the Miami Dolphins, specifically because one, I love this game. I love the Dolphins, right? And I want to enjoy that not only with my friends, but with my family. I want to bring my son. I want to get my son into football, right? I want to bring my son to the games and enjoy something as a father-son, experience. And I can't do that if I have to worry about people starting fights and brawling. What if somebody hits my son? You know what I mean? What if something happens to my son at one of these games? Let it be not just my son. Let's say it's somebody in the audience with kids, right? In your case, Color, you go to the game with your mom. Your mom's a Dolphin fan. She loves going to the games with you and stuff. What if something happens to her because somebody around you was in a fight and they accidentally hit her?
Mm-hmm. Heck, she can't even stand listening to the banter, bro.
You know what I mean? What if some of this stuff actually happens? And that being said, it's just really sad. I mean, even the Buffalo Bills fans, you had Michael K threatening Mark in the section 308, which happens to be the same section that this person that recently, and I apologize.
That's the other way around, by the way.
Oh, I thought it was Mark. I thought it was no, it is Mark K. Mark K is the one.
Yeah, you said Mike. You said it the other way around, though.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize, Michael K. I meant to say Mark K. I'm sorry. Mark K.
And the irony that it was section 308 is just wow, man. Yeah. What a coincidence.
That's the irony of this, right? There should be no. I've listened to these spaces and on Twitter and whatnot, and there's people that come on there and they're like, why don't you pull up? Why don't you pull up, huh? And get all badass like these are the streets or something, right? It's Twitter. It's social media. You guys have to get off your high horse that you have to think that you have to be this persona or whatever. You know what I mean? So what? I don't agree with your take. So what? You don't agree with my take. You know what? We have difference of opinion. We all want the same thing. We all want our team to win, right? That's what we want, right? That's the only thing we agree on. So be it. But it doesn't matter. Even with the other team, people like Michael K and Mark K and who are some of the delusional Patriot fans always here. I don't know why he's not here today, but I haven't seen him at least. If I missed him, I'm sorry. He might be in the here. He's usually here. I banter with these guys. Why? Because it's fun. It's supposed to be funny. He talks about my hair. He talks about my hat. I make fun of, his crappy quarterback, or crappy team or lack of trophies or whatever. It's supposed to be fun and funny, not a, hey man, I'm going to meet you at section 308 at the flagpole and I'm going to beat you to death with a banana. It's not, it's not supposed to be like that. You know what I mean? And this is supposed to be a fun game. And, I think some people have taken it too far and it's kind of gotten out of hand over the past 2 years, I want to say. I've seen more fights in stadiums in the last 2 years than I have ever in the NFL. Right? So that's my opinion on this. And I honestly hope and I think that the NFL needs to maybe look at holding people accountable, even not just they already try to do it as much as they can at games. We've seen at Miami Dolphin games, there's a lot more security around than normal, right? We had that last year. We talked about this, right? But I think they need to start looking more at social media too, for people that are making these threats, like you're mentioning, Color, because some of those threats can be seen by others and then taken to a much more serious note at the games. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I have never
Yeah.
been worried about the guy in chat that sits there and threatens me or whatever. What I'm
Yeah.
worried about, because we got about, we probably have about 60 regular viewers that watch all of the shows. We see them around on other networks. It's all the same. All the people that are in our chat right now, pretty much. We see you all everywhere. Y'all are regulars. It ain't one of those people threatening me that I'm worried about. It's the guy that we've never seen type anything in chat that decides he's going to want to go do something to impress his favorite YouTuber. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or whatever, or his favorite guy or on the team or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
That's who you got to
it's the
worry
one
about.
you don't hear from. You don't see him. He's not physically
Right.
able to
And he
see.
may be some lost soul or lost individual that sees everybody doing that kind of thing and thinks it's okay to go and act on these things. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a certain term that they use to identify profile these type of people. I can't think of it at the top of my head. But that I know exactly what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
It's
And then the
somebody
people
that
that might have wished that to happen can say, well, I don't have any responsibility for that. I don't even, who knows that person? Well, it don't matter. That person was sitting around quietly watching the whole thing and felt that his actions were condoned.
and see, that's the thing. You just said it right there. People are thinking that they don't have any responsibility for someone else's actions, but
Right. No accountability.
you do have accountability and responsibility for things that you have said that led to these actions, right? That is where you have responsibility, and I think people need to be held to a higher standard because of that, right?
I mean, there's videos we get 1,500 views on, but we only have 100 live viewers.
Mhm.
That's 1,400 people that we've never met, that have never said a word in chat, and we have no idea who those 1,400 people are.
Yeah.
And how much they may have a vendetta or whatever. And then when people are talking about, oh, I'm going to pull up on color, well, that and I'm not, and I get ridiculed for pushing back on it. Well, what's that tell that person? Obviously, color's in the wrong. He shouldn't get upset when somebody threatens him. So guess what I'm going to go do? It's a vicious cycle, and it's really got to stop, man. It's just got to stop. We got to be better as adults, man. Our kids aren't even doing all this stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Our kids learned a long time ago about bullying and all that. They don't do it,
Yeah. At least my kids don't, and kids
And here
that
we are, just like, and bullying doesn't take the form of, oh, I'm yelling at you and threatening you and this and that. Bullying takes the form of when you sit here on a public show and ask a person, hey, hypothetically, what if somebody were to just show up at your door? That's bullying. Nobody should have to answer that question. Nobody should be even asked that question publicly. That's but here we are,
Yeah, but I definitely understand.
I've been faced with that question publicly.
Shout out to Mr. Polk. Thank you for joining the show, sir. He's talking about how Michael K is the good Bills fan around here. So shout out to him. Listen, I definitely agree, Color. You should not have
just because you say I want to hurt somebody in a video game, no, that don't absolve you of it. Okay, you can't just add in a video game or hypothetically. Okay, you're asking somebody what would happen if you show up at their door. It don't matter if you put hypothetically in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
This is how people get hurt. This is how news stories happen, because somebody shows up at somebody's door and they get what they asked for.
Yeah. That is right. That's how people get hurt. 100%.
I mean, just and it's got to stop. It's just got to stop. And it doesn't help with people coming in here, Mark, putting in these snide little comments as if every Dolphin fan is responsible for what somebody does in a Patriots stadium. All that's doing is fomenting it, Mark. That's all it's doing. So I'd ask you kindly not to do that in our chat if you'd be so kind.
Yes. All right. So let's keep it moving, color, because we're
real quick, Ali. That was kind of a little sore spot right there. So I want to bring it back to a little bit of comic relief, because I just figured out a way to make it big enough for everybody to see. Hold on.
Wait. Does it have to do with the Bills fan?
No.
Okay, because I have something coming up that's going to do that. But go ahead.
Here we go. This is what happens when an Ohio State fan and a Florida Gators fan are arguing.
Hurricane just walks away. Oh man, yeah,
this is my new favorite meme right here, bro.
It was pretty intense at one point, and then when somebody posted a picture of somebody I actually know to make fun of them, I was like, I actually know that person, and then all of a sudden I get all these apologies. Oh shit, I didn't know you actually know this. Oh, it was funny. There's even a song that goes with that meme. I mean, I wish we had rights to play it, bro, because it'd be so cool, man. Yeah, I hear you. Listen, bantering with fans is okay. It's okay to make fun of other teams, make fun of them, but don't get personal. Don't sit there and jab at each other. And this is the biggest thing, and this is one thing takeaway I have read, according to several reports, the spouse of the person that passed away in that game, right, has stated that their husband wasn't very an aggressive person. He didn't get tempered or angered very easily. However, there's been several reports by many different media outlets that he confronted the Dolphins fans. First of all, don't confront anybody. You got somebody bantering with you, just like go there and put your hands up and go, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? And just keep going. Watch the game. Don't pay attention, right? And then when you're done watching the game and enjoying the game, and enjoying your time with your family or friends or whatever, and it's time to go, just go. Don't let that person bother you. They may get personal or whatever. Just ignore it. In I don't condone the other person getting personal in the first place either. So they need to watch what they do as well. What's the point? What good is getting personal going to do for you? It doesn't put money in your pocket. It doesn't enhance the game. It doesn't do anything. What does it absolutely do for you if you actually think about it? Absolutely nothing.
Gets you banned from the stadium.
It's like bullying. What does bullying actually get for you growing up as a child, even at an older age? It doesn't get you respect. If anything, nowadays it gets you canceled, right? It doesn't get you money. It doesn't get you a job. It doesn't give you anything that you can actually do productive in life. Absolutely not. I don't know. That's my last take on it. Let's move on to the next thing. So the next subject, color. Have you noticed the shift of the mainstream media when it comes to the Miami Dolphins, color? And this is going to actually roll into something we're going to talk about when it's time for some football with our main articles that we go over. But there is a massive shift. I don't know if
shift. I'm sorry, I thought you said something else.
No, I'm talking about shift as in like their philosophy has changed.
Right.
Shift in philosophy. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but somebody must have paid the right person, because like a domino effect, since the offseason has started, it's been Miami best roster. It's been Miami definitely playoff contender. Miami now going to AFC Championship. And now you got people saying it's Super Bowl or bust, right? In the mainstream media. Let's look at this. First of all, you got Colin Cowherd, right? This guy is a serial Miami Dolphins.
Did
hater.
we make it to the herd hierarchy?
Number one color.
Wow. I've been
Listen.
waiting years for that.
Listen. This guy had something to say about every single person on his top 10. When he gets to number one, didn't even have to explain it. And Miami's number one. That speed, that offense, no question. And then went on to debate everyone else. Not even say, well, I think Miami's number one because this, that, and the other, but they need to work on their defense, blah, 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 blah. No, just they're number one. That's it. That's what it seemed like. Go watch the episode. But Colin Cowherd has been a serial Miami Dolphins hater for years. Since he's become famous, he can never say a single thing nice about the Miami Dolphins, right? But I don't know what happened this past offseason. He had a change of tune. He said, oh my God, Miami may have something there. Oh my Lord, Miami has a really good a wide receiver and definitely has weapons. Oh my Lord, I like what Mike McDaniel's doing, blah, 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 blah. And now we're on number one of Colin Cowherd's hierarchy in the NFL. Number one color above the 49ers, above the Bills, above everybody he has the Commanders and Rams in the top 10, above them for sure. You know what I mean? I couldn't believe that. It doesn't just end there, color. Pat McAfee. Check out Pat McAfee's show, right? And shout out to several people that brought this to my attention on his show. He said, hands down, seeing what Dallas did and what Miami did, it's Dallas and Miami in the Super Bowl. No joke. That's what he said. Dallas and Miami in the Super Bowl.
A little early
Right?
for all that talk, but whatever.
I know you think it's early.
I don't want to be the Arizona Cardinals, man.
I hear you. I trust me. I understand you don't want to be the Arizona Cardinals, right?
I remember Cowherd saying something very similar when Kyler Murray was surging, man, and I don't want to hear none of that.
He's always had something nice to say about, the West Coast teams, let alone he's never said anything nice about the Dolphins. Go back. Before this year, all right, before mid last season, there's not a single nice thing that he said about us, bro. It's trash, trash, trash. We're trash. We can't do nothing. We can't build a roster. We don't have a coach. We don't have an organization. Laughing stock. Trash, 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 trash. You'll see that for years, right? I don't know who paid him off or what's going on, but not just him. Everybody in the mainstream media is talking about the Miami Dolphins. But let's actually look at why, color. Let's look at why.
Yeah, this is nice.
For 2 weeks, the Miami Dolphins have the NFL's number one passing offense, number one total offense, and tied for number 3 in scoring offense. The one sack allowed has them tied for second. Defense also improved in several categories. Defense has gotten better in certain categories, but I still think we need to get better, and we're getting better. We'll get to that. Let's actually look at this. We're number one in total offense with 462.5 yards. Passing offense, we're 355 yards, ranked number one. We're number 16 with rushing offense. So even with our, we feel that the rushing game is not quite there. They say we're ranked 16, so we're at least in the top half of the NFL. You know what I mean? Scoring offense, at least 30 points a game. We're tied for third. Sacks allowed. We've only allowed one sack, color. One. Tied for second.
Wow. So who's first? Somebody hasn't allowed one yet?
Yeah, I wonder who that is. We'll have to find. I have to research that.
I'm going to say.
Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat.
I'm going to say the Cowboys.
That's possible. I think Dak's been sacked, though. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong.
Maybe the Commies.
Maybe. Well, let's keep it going. So, third down offense, we're tied for 13th. So we're getting a little bit better on third downs, and whatnot. Total defense, we allowed 360.5 yards. That's the issue, right? We're ranked 24th. I think we're a lot better than that. I know we're a lot better than that, and I think we will get better as the season progresses. That first game was a tough one. It's at SoFi Stadium. You have a prolific quarterback with really good weapons and one of the best pass catching running backs in the game. You knew it was going to be a tough game, right?
Mhm.
Look at the next guy. Passing defense. We only allow about 200 yards. We're ranked 14. Okay, not bad. Rushing defense. This is where we got to get better. We technically did much, much better in the Patriots game versus the game versus the Chargers. That Chargers game has killed us. I think this will average out as we go on, and it'll get better and better. So I'm okay with
And look at the number, 160.5. Well, we had 250 plus put up on us in the first game. So for us to be average back down to 160, we must have really held down the fort this week. And it's only going to continue. If we keep holding down the fort, that 160 will drop. It'll just continue to drop. I mean, that big number to start the season with only a 2-game sample size is still keeping us down. To answer Michael K's question about 24th ranked defense, hey, after last week, it was 32nd. So we're down to 24th from 32nd. It's called trending up, Michael K. You might want to be mindful of it.
Yes. In addition, we've only, it says sacks. We have about 7 sacks so far. Is that right? We have 7. Okay. So we're tied for 8th there. So sacks are starting to come up. Third down defense. We're at 30th. This is an issue for us on the defense. I saw it last night's or Sunday's game, as well as the last Sunday. Third downs, we were getting flagged. Either Eli Apple or even Xavier Howard got flagged a couple times. We need to get better at that. In the offseason,
That'll get better with a few home games and a more friendly set of referees.
That's true. That's true. I think they'll get better. I mean, here's the reality of it. I saw in the offseason a defense that was performing much better to the point where I could see them getting off on third down without any problem. I haven't seen that yet, and it's primarily by there was a couple BS calls, to be honest, in the Sunday before Sunday's game, right? Especially where the place of hands I've seen a lot worse and they don't call it, which I don't understand. And in addition to it, we just got to get better decision making. And I need my players to actually tackle and none of this shoulder bump or try the clothesline type of tackling. Get a little bit better tackling on those third downs and get people sacked properly. And shout out to David Long, who got a sack. I mean, he definitely brought a game compared to the first game. I could see where they used him a lot better, to be honest. Let's see. Third, takeaways. We only have 2. Yeah, we got to get better at that. This defense is supposed to be designed on the takeaway, causing the havoc so they create the turnover and then giveaways. This is not good, right? We've thrown 2. He's thrown what? 2 interceptions so far, right? And fumbled the ball. The one fumble was on the miss snap, right? And there was almost a miss snap, I want to say, in the last game, right? It hit like when they went to exchange the ball from under center, right? If memory serves me right, Color.
I believe, yeah.
Yeah. We got to get better at that. I don't know whose issue it is. It's a Tua issue.
No, I believe it was. I believe one of the running backs actually fumbled.
No. No, that was a takeaway that we took the ball away. Yes, because I'll remember he got it punched out of his hands. And it was.
No, I'm talking about either last week or this week. We got one fumble from a running back, from Mostert or somebody.
No, that wasn't this week. No, what we did get, well, it might have been. I may have missed it, but what I know for a fact was the fumble that happened when Tua was underneath center, was exchanging the ball from Connor Williams to his hands.
I don't think we gave that away. I think he fell on it.
No, but what I'm explaining is that even though that was not a giveaway, he fell on it. We need to get better to make sure that doesn't happen.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
Because in the game prior, we did have a fumble. The second fumble, they fell on it, right?
Right.
And because he fumbled earlier on, and then there was one later in the game, they fell on it. And in both games, he's thrown an interception, which was really a glorified punt if you think about it. So it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like a pick six or something. You know what I
Right.
mean? So he's
And
had.
yeah, it wasn't Mostert. He has 0 fumbles on the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't Mostert. So we're ranking up. The offense is top of the game. The defense is getting a little bit better from week 1 to week 2. We need to see more of a progression upwards of that. I expect to see more of that progression upwards in this game versus the Broncos.
And what would you say, Ali? What would you say that I would say is the most important, most improved, and most beneficial stat on that list?
Let me look at it again, Color.
Like, knowing what I've said about our problems in the offseason, what do I think is the most important, significant change on that list?
Scoring offense.
Boom. You nailed it.
And I'll tell you why. I tell you why it's scoring offense. Color did this amazing breakdown, both for the quarterbacks and the wide receivers, that contributed to production. The most productive quarterbacks versus the most productive wide receivers. And what we found is that we are getting shit tons of yards, but we're not capitalizing on these yards. So far this season, we are scoring on almost every drive. And that is exactly what we need to do. I don't care if it's touchdowns or field goals, just keep scoring on every drive. And I want to say it was Sunday's game, not this Sunday, but the Sunday prior. We only punted the ball once, Color. Once. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And in this game, I want to say we punted maybe 2 or 3 times, which was expected. You know, they were playing a more of a zone defense to try to combat our receivers, and it didn't really work, to be honest. You know, they're like, "Oh, you're gonna play zone? Okay, no problem." The short yardage game was just more. You know, kept working. Run the ball more.
Running
more.
game.
No problem.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I don't really. This goes back to my days when I was having these conversations when Mike McDaniel first got hired. When it came to speaking with Mike on the mic, and shout out to Mike on the mic. I don't know where you're at, bro. I hope everything is well. I hope everything with the family is well. Shout out to you, right? When I was speaking to him about this, I mentioned that this speed, this game that the offense is going to be playing is going to cause defenses to have vertigo because they won't know what to do. You can't play zone. You can't play man-to-man, right? And with all this speed, it's going to make, it's going to make defenses want to throw up. In fact, that meme that you have, it makes me want to throw up, or I just want to see if it's going to make me throw up. Yeah, you should be playing that over and over again after watching every play, right? Because Mike McDaniel, and shout out to him, and shout out to the Miami Dolphins offense, who has 4 out of the fastest 9 guys in the NFL, right? They have Tyreek, Waddle, Mostert, and there's one more that we have that's one of the fastest guys in the NFL. A-Chain. I think it's A-Chain, right? And that being said, it's very hard to figure out what to do with this defense. What to do with this offense. If you play zone, they're going to eat you up on the short yardage and maximize the hell out of you, right? As well as they're going to be able to continuously run, not a problem. And especially behind an offensive line that is currently performing, but strong suit is rushing. In addition to that, you also have, if you play man-to-man, those wide receivers are going to eat you down the field left and right. Left and right, they'll do it. And that's exactly what we saw versus the Chargers. I don't really know what you can do with this game. And the accuracy of Tua and how he pinpoints balls in the exact spot it needs to be and how he anticipates. And now he shows, like, for example, Color, you said it, he's showing you that elusive ability that everyone talks about. We're actually seeing it in play. He's making smart decisions and what it is really hard to defend against this team, right? It's going to be very interesting what happens. There's no question that Tua and the team is definitely Tua and Tyreek are definitely in the MVP talk. In my opinion, if they're on pace to finish 1 and 2, personally, that's what I think. What do you think, Color?
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with that take.
Yeah, so that's just my opinion. Shout out if you're just joining the chat. DTA, man, this guy's up super early or up super late. 4:05 in the AM, bro. What's up, man? What is up? How you doing, DTA? Nice to see you here. Is Delusional Patriot fans here? I seen somebody saying Delusional.
Yeah, he's in here.
Oh, shout out to Delusional. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, for some reason he's not showing up on my my list, unless it was something he mentioned a while ago. All right, so shout out to Delusional Patriot fan. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Shout out to DTA. How you doing, my friend? You're up early with us. Shout out to you. But yeah, let's keep it moving, Color. One last thing for what in the world, and I don't want to forget this. And I'm going to end on this one before we get to football, because we've definitely got to talk about some Dolphins football, right? So this came out in the news, and I need some explanation in the chat from Michael K. Maybe he can explain. So a tailgating Bills fan claims that LSD, cocaine, cannabis, and alcohol caused him to strip off all of his clothing, smear, I guess it would be considered dog feces, or what do they call that? Like poop, all over himself. Then enter the construction zone of the new Bills Stadium, where he fell into a 30-foot pit before flipping off a helicopter.
Wow.
So, tell me, what are they putting in the water in Buffalo, right? Are you crazy? This had to make my what in the world. In fact, this is so legit. Listen to this, right? I thought this was some fake news or whatever. No, Sports Illustrated even did an article on it. As the Buffalo Bills were winning in week 2, a man who was allegedly naked, covered in human... Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't dog poop. It was human poop. And under the influence of cocaine and LSD, was being rescued from a construction site of the new stadium. On the same weekend that when Buffalo Bills won their NFL game at Highmark Stadium to avoid falling in a hole, a 29-year-old man was down the street at the site of the new stadium falling into a hole. While he was allegedly naked, and while he was allegedly under the influence of cocaine, LSD, and marijuana, and while he was covered in human excrement. The Erie County Sheriff's Office said that right around kickoff time on Sunday, security were asked to assist with a person in trouble. The person, according to law enforcement officials, chose to run away from the security personnel and into an area where the new stadium is being built. Security pursued the man and apparently observed him climbing the 10-foot protective fence that surrounds the construction site, and then running toward the excavated area. He reportedly fell 15 feet, not 30 feet. I thought it was told it was 30 feet, into a hole, gathered himself, took off running again, and fell. Oh, so he did fall 30 feet. So he fell into a 15-foot hole, took off running, then fell into another 15-foot deep excavation hole. So it is 30 feet. I was right. By the time Sheriff's Office, EMS, and Fire Department were asked to respond, and when alerted to respond, when authorities did arrive, they were told by the man that he was under the influence of a variety of drugs. At that point, the man wasn't taken into custody, but rather was taken to a hospital while being charged with criminal trespass. Oh, and by the way, the Bills beat Las Vegas Raiders 38-10 to move on to 1-1, according to this.
Manola says, "Did he find Hoffa?"
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Has anybody? Has anybody? We have any report on how the conditions of the tables? Are they okay?
Well, if this is correct, they are definitely covered in shit color. Listen. I understand we all love to party and we love our team and we love to tailgate, but tailgate and party responsibly. I don't like to mix certain things, let alone partake in certain ones. I don't. But smearing yourself with human excrement, come on, man. It's like that whole saying on on ESPN. Come on, it's that come on moment. Like, really? Imagine you're the EMS or the police officer or the fire department guy that has to touch you, bro. You know what I mean? That's disgusting. Let alone you're naked on top of it. Come on. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen a Dolphin fan go that crazy. Have you, Color, in your lifetime?
I can't say that I have.
The worst thing I've seen at a Dolphins game was a player's wife being arrested by Miami-Dade Sheriff's Department. If you remember, I believe it was Brent Grimes.
Yeah,
I think that's his name. Brent Grimes' wife was getting lippy and got nasty, and they threw her on the ground and arrested her. So something to that effect. I can't remember exactly what the reason was. It was something though.
I have today's public service announcement for the Buffalo Bills fans.
Don't pet the fluffy cows. Oh man, that's so funny. And actually, speaking of fluffy cows, Color, did you see the new Buffalo Wild Wings commercial?
No.
Oh man, it's funny. It's funny. I want to know what was Michael K's comments regarding this fan. Oh, El Capitan's here. What's up, El Cap? Bills fans can't party right, apparently. Stop playing with your poopless fans and players. Oh my god, TTA, you're so wrong.
Well, I mean, when in Rome, when in Seattle, I guess. I don't know.
Oh my god, that's some funny stuff. Shout out to everybody. Oh my god, DTA says it had to be Mark. That's not a lie, man. We haven't seen Mark. I'm kind of worried.
Wow.
Oh my god, this is so funny. Oh man,
the Seattle residents go to move to Buffalo to become Bills fans, huh?
Yeah.
No offense, DTA.
Oh man. Well, he's not a Seattle fan though.
DTA, just another Tuesday for me.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark, just so you're aware, El Cap, Mark came here after the Dolphins beat the Chargers. He actually showed up once in the morning to say that he was wrong, that we definitely Tua played a hell of a game, and that that we have a good team, and that his Buffalo Bills just made shitty decisions and played like crap. And I have not seen him since when he said that.
Well, he came by yesterday morning.
Oh, what before I came in late, dragged myself in by a semi.
Put his 2 cents in about the, about the punch, about the Dolphin fans.
El Cap says that must have been after he got bail from his poop incident.
Exactly.
Edward Loftus, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you, man. Hit like and subscribe. All right.
We do need to figure out, it's been 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
And no NFL is lit, man. I mean, he took that loss pretty hard, bro. He ain't been around in 2 weeks now.
Yeah, I've shouted him out a few times. I mean,
we won't beat you up over it, lit. You can come back around. It happens.
Who won the Chargers
Played
game?
a good game.
Who won the Chargers game?
They didn't.
So
I
Chargers
think
lost.
they're
again.
0-2.
They're 0-2. If
think
they're
they're-
0-2, bro, that coach has to be on the hot seat really bad. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He has to be on the hot seat. So, but what happened? Somebody say something again?
DTA says, was it his or someone else's that he smeared? He says, asking for a friend. It matters.
My question is, you know how, like, and I'm being all serious about this, so hear me out. You know how they, around the tailgating areas, the parking lots, everything, they have these porta potties, right? And the porta potties have this, like, blue substance that they put in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Maybe he was like, ooh, body paint for blue Buffalo Bills, and he smeared it all over himself.
Oh,
And
no.
went running.
Wow.
You know what I mean? He probably got high off the fumes off that shit too. I mean, it's very possible. Basically, poop and excrement and whatever they put in those chemicals is really fertilizer. I mean, for the most part, he probably got high off that shit on top of it. So we're trying to smear bro. I'm not trying anything. This is in mainstream media. Sports Illustrated is a mainstream media, outlet. They're reporting on it. Various different outlets on Twitter is reporting it. None of them have any affiliation with the Miami Dolphin fan base. I'm just putting it out there. We're not trying to smear anything. I want to know what they're putting in the water over there. You should be questioning that. So, but anyway, let's keep it moving. Let's actually go to the Miami Dolphin news. That's what everyone's been waiting for anyway, right? So let's keep talking about that kind of stuff. So in other words, week 3 power rankings are rounding up Miami Dolphins unanimously among the top half dozen teams in the national NFL rankings with their 24-17 victory against New England Patriots. This is according to Alan Pupar. The Miami Dolphins stand as one of the 9 2-0 teams after the first 2 weeks of the NFL. More impressively, they are joined by only the San Francisco 49ers in getting those 2 wins on the road. So 49ers, shout out to you, and the Miami Dolphins are the only 2 teams that got their wins on the road for the first 2 games. So shout out to them. The Dolphins clearly, with good reason, are being viewed as one of the top teams in the NFL as at the moment. As evidenced by their average ranking of 5.9 among the 12 national outlets: CBS, NFL, Pro Football Network, The Sporting News, USA Today, Sports Illustrated, The Athletic, the 33rd Team Touchdown Wire, The Score, Yahoo, and Fox Sports. We regularly examine for their survey. The Dolphins ranking from second, The Athletic, to a low of 6th. By 5 different outlets, the Dolphins are 5th or 6th in 9 of the 12 rankings.
Wow.
The biggest jump after week 2 victory against New England came from the 33rd team, which moved the Dolphins from 10th to 5th. Here is the breakdown of the Dolphins' 12 power ranking spots, along with the commentary associated with it. CBS has us ranked number 6 currently. We were number 8 before. The offense was patient against the Patriots, which is a good sign. But the best thing about the game was the defense. It rebounded in a big way. It did rebound in a big way. I definitely felt that the rush defense definitely got better, as well as the pass defense getting to the quarterback, and the pass rush got really good as well. Like I said yesterday, Van Ginkel was a monster in that Patriots game. He was all over in Mac Jones' face or coming for Mac Jones every snap. So shout out to Van Ginkel for filling in. I honestly think they should just keep him at that position. I understand Jalen Phillips is much more talented, and I'd have him as my starter, but I think this is more of his position versus playing a middle linebacker. What do you think?
Right. Yeah, man. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. He's really eating it up on the outside there. Mm-hmm. And also, so long, Heather. You have a great day as well. No pun intended. And
Oh,
Hope
Heather.
your day goes swimmingly as a Finn fan.
I'm off to work. Good day, man. Yeah, that's right. We must have graduated. She's been calling us boys for quite a few times. Now we're men color.
It was the smearing feces talk, I think.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Like, these guys
All right.
know how to these guys know how to really put it on somebody. You know?
Oh, God. Oh, this morning show color. Good morning if you're just joining us. This is Top of the Tailgate. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. We're talking about Bills fans smearing stuff all over their bodies and going on a running spree. So let's keep talking about this. So keep on with the article. NFL.com had us ranked at number 5, and we're still number 5. So we stayed pat. No change there. They're 2-0 with 9 home games remaining. Each of the first 2 contests required late gut checks. The fourth quarter interception against the Patriots was regrettable, and there were a few underthrows, but Tua Tagovailoa played a pretty darn composed game. He knew he'd have to be patient and take his second and third options, and he routinely did that. And in the Dolphins' terrific yards, add in the Dolphins' terrific yards after first contact, especially Raheem Mostert and Jalen Waddle, and this offense looks tough to deal with. Mike McDaniel schemed up a really nice game against the Patriots, and did Vic Fangio. Defensively, the special teams errors added a few items in the cleanup list, but Miami once more impressed against a conference opponent away from home. And a top 5 defense. Don't forget that. Regardless of what you think of the Patriots and their offensive woes, they still have a top 5 defense. Touchdown Wire had us ranked 6th. We were previously 5th. You remember the scene in the longest yard where Unger is telling the guards about Nelly's character, Earl Meggett, I guess his name, and he says, "Oh, the longest yard is actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good if you haven't seen it." He makes fast people look not fast. That's everyone on the Dolphins' offense. Tyreek Hill was held mostly in check, but Jalen Waddle had a huge night, and Raheem Mostert ran all over the Patriots' defense. The Olympic track team, the Dolphins, are going to be a problem all season and are right in the thick of things in terms of being one of the league's best teams. So even though we dropped one position, I don't know. They still said something nice to say about us. The score previously had us ranked number 4. I'm sorry, we were previously number 5. Now we're ranked number 4. The first week proved that we already expected before the season the Dolphins can match up against any team if healthy. That is true. We can. Sports Illustrated previously had us at number 7. We're number 5 now. Analysis: the Dolphins don't lose to the Patriots, but they do look a little less good against the Patriots. Ultimately, who cares? Bill Belichick threw all kinds of delayed action at Tua, and it seemed to work for a time, like that Kyle Duggar fake blitz that resulted in a tip pass with a similar but different tactic that Belichick used last year to deter Tagovailoa from throwing to the motion receivers. But the Dolphins are simply too powerful now. Mike McDaniel continues to hoard speed like a space-aged Al Davis, but he's putting it in good use. That's what I'm talking about. Space-aged Al Davis. Holy crap. Color, hold it down for just a moment. I got to take care of something real quick.
All right. Holding it down. Under lock and key. Never to be seen again. How's everybody doing this morning? I see Shake Money has joined the chat. Good morning to you as well, Shake Money. And let's see. Anybody got any questions? I got nothing to talk about. It's freaking 7:30 in the morning, people. I mean, let's see if we could drum up some funniness here. See what they're saying over on this website that nobody pays attention to anymore. Those are always the good ones. Let's see. Oh, it's all about that. Oh, I don't want to talk about that. Let's see here. Well, that just stinks right there. That one just stinks. Nope. That one is terrible. All right. Splash Zone from Finsider, SB Nation. Dolphins offense is on fire. According to the Splash Zone, the Patriots' defensive game plan was to take the deep ball and the middle of the field out of the Miami Dolphins offense. I concur. While the plan sort of worked, it did not matter as the Dolphins relied on the run game and short passing attack. It was great to see McDaniel not have an ego and force the deep ball against a defense that was playing three high safeties. Credit to quarterback Tua for getting the ball out so quickly that it negated any pass rush the Patriots sent. The Dolphins offense is so versatile in the way they can attack defenses, so it will be interesting to see if an opponent can crack the code to slow them down. I think that's what the Patriots just did. And it only slowed us down to the tune of 24 points. So, yeah, I mean, look, we got a lot to be proud of the last 2 weeks. We got a lot to be excited about. Because, look, we won 2 road games. We've had all kinds of mistakes and all kinds of issues, and we've still overcome and beat 2 pretty good football teams. Yeah, we kind of started that way. We were waiting for December, see what happens. But I don't see any reason, given the trend, that anything should stop or reverse anytime soon, barring any injuries. So I'm really happy. I think I'm encouraged. I think we all have reason to be positive. And, you know, we can deal with the negative hurdles as they come. I will certainly do that, Mr. Polk. The time currently is 7:30 in Southeast Florida. And let's see here. Let's look at the weather for right now. Weather for today. Currently in Palm Beach County, it is a balmy 77 degrees. Rain will be starting in about 2 hours. Mostly sunny. And today's high should be about 87 degrees, 80% chance of rain. Right around the 9 to 11 hour, then some at 1 o'clock, and then some later tonight. Umbrella, need, clothing, shorts, or optional. Outdoors is poor, and the heat stroke danger is high. Watch for scattered rain showers. The high will reach 87 on this humid day. And that would be for Palm Beach County. So, Mr. Polk, throw me your zip code, man, or a 305 zip code. I don't know too many of them down there. Or maybe I can just type in Miami. Current weather at 7:30 in Miami is 82 degrees, mostly sunny. Feels like 91 degrees already. Pollen is high. Wind is out of the southeast at 1 mile an hour. Humidity 90%. Pressure 29.96 millibars. Dew point is 79 degrees. Your high today will be 88 degrees. And 51% of rain showers. So there you go. That is the TFTGnetwork.com weather report. And if color's fast enough before Ali starts talking again, we can give you current traffic.
Go for it.
Moderate traffic in the Palm Beach County area. You got delays at every single intersection. School is in session. So I see red dots at every single intersection in Palm Beach County. You got major slowdowns on I-95 from 45th Street, all the way down through the Lake Worth area. It doesn't start clearing up again until Gateway Boulevard down in Boynton. So just stay off of I-95 in Palm Beach County this morning, please. Same thing down in the south. You got the Miami Expressway through Pompano Beach. Just that choke point right there through Pompano every morning. It's still there. Lauderdale, Hollywood, Florida Turnpike, 95, all dark red, all the way down into Miami. It's just a mess today down in Miami. So you got slow down on 95, slow down on Turnpike, slow down on US 1, slow down on 826, slow down on 836, 997, Southeast 8th Avenue, Bird Road. I mean, just stay off the road. If you don't have any kids to go to school or don't have any work to go to, stay off the road. And if you are in Miami, turn around and drive the other way. That is your official TFTGnetwork.com traffic report.
All right, Color. Let's keep it moving with the Dolphins news. So, just to finalize that article about the different power rankings, yeah, we're in the top 10 or top 5 of pretty much everybody's rankings now. We are in the hierarchy, as you saw in Colin Howard, and people are talking about Miami's offense being the top, Miami to Super Bowl contenders to everything. You know what I mean? It's pretty impressive to be in the limelight, let me tell you. But let's keep it moving. Miami Dolphins made a move yesterday, adding Dolphins add former Patriots draftee to the D line. Yep, we're continuing to bolster this defensive line. My question isn't the position that we're trying to bolster. My question is, why are we trying to play Moneyball or find a diamond in rough at this point? Why don't you find the guy that you know can get the job done and just sign them for 1 year minimum, get it done, Color? That's my question. So the Miami Dolphins continued their mission to add talent that can beef up the defensive line by signing defensive lineman Byron Cowart, to the practice squad Tuesday. Cowart, a former Auburn and Maryland product who was taken in the 5th round of the 2019 draft by New England Patriots, will be joining his 5th team in 5 years. The 6'3", 298-pound defensive tackle was with the Kansas City Chiefs this spring and then joined the Houston Texans, who replaced him with the 53-man roster was assembled. The Dolphins got an up-close and personal look at Cowart when the teams held joint practices in August. Cowart started 14 of 36 NFL games. He played all of those starts came for the Patriots in 2020. During the season, he recorded 27 tackles, 1 sack, in the 419 defensive snaps he played. The Dolphins had a vacant practice squad spot after they signed Deshaun Hand to the 53-man roster Saturday, releasing safety Verone McKinley to make room for him. So they released Verone McKinley. That's kind of surprising. McKinley, who has been with the Miami since 2022 season, was re-signed to the 16-player practice squad unit Tuesday evening. So they re-signed him to the practice squad. I guess that's kind of what they do. They bring you up and put you back down, basically. Miami released safety Joshua Kalu in corresponding move. Kalu, a 5-year NFL veteran, spent the past 2 weeks with the Dolphins. Dolphins short on defensive linemen. Heading into the game against Denver Broncos on Sunday, the Dolphins only have 5 defensive linemen: Christian Wilkins, Zach Seiler, Raekwon Davis, Hand, and Brandon Pilley on the active roster. Cowart becomes the 2nd defensive tackle on the practice squad, joining Rashard Lawrence. After 2 games, the Dolphins are allowing 160 rushing yards per contest, but that average is skewed a bit because of the 233 rushing yards the Los Angeles Chargers gained on the Dolphins in the season opener. Miami held the Patriots to 88 rushing yards on 25 carries in a 24-17 Sunday night win against the Patriots. The league average for rushing yards allowed per game is 106 so far this season. So we're bringing in players. People are wondering what the heck's going on. I don't understand why we don't just get Akeem Hicks, to be honest. Just get it done and over with, Color. Get your proper nose tackle in place for the season. Why mess around with this? You know what I mean? I don't know. I get it. You're trying to play money ball or whatever, but does it work? That's the better question. What do you think, Color?
I mean, I tend to agree. What happened to all our D linemen, man? Like, what's going on here, man? I thought we were all right.
Yeah, I mean, I know we needed a proper nose tackle for this defense, but, I guess they disagree. They just want to fill in players just to have the position held, I guess. I don't know. They're not bringing anybody special. Hand hasn't shown me anything that the other guys haven't shown me, let alone hasn't shown me anything similar to the other guys. I don't understand what their premise is. You know what I mean? I guess we'll have to see what happens when we get closer to the trade deadline. Maybe something there, possibly. Let me see if there's any more news to bring up. No, I think that's kind of where we're at, Color. Let's see, what time is it? 7:38. If people want to start putting their questions in the chat, and we can, start answering those questions, we'll definitely talk about that. Put anything you want to talk about in the chat, we'll start discussing it. Let's see here. I'm trying to see if there's any up-to-date news going on. Yeah, I guess people are starting to say because we're getting the national news and attention, it's going to start making us harder to be the underdog.
Yeah, and that's when you got to start winning. I mean, you just got to start doing your thing. Showing people you deserve to have that credit.
Yeah, I'm reading some news. Just bear with me 1 second, Color.
Everybody, make sure you're hitting the like button while you're waiting on Ali to read the news.
You're such a jerk. So, I hate bringing this stuff up, but, not really hate to bring... Well, let me explain. If you feel that you're under some mental stress, or maybe you're overwhelmed with life and overwhelmed with stuff that's going on in your life or anything like that, and maybe you think, maybe you feel lonely, maybe you suffer from depression, or maybe you've been put on new medication lately, or maybe you had something tragic happen in your life or anything, go get, there are phone lines you can call to talk to somebody. In fact, can you bring that up, Color? If like any type of agency or anybody, if somebody needs some help, talk things through. You know what I'm talking about? You might want to find that.
Isn't there a quick number like 311 or something like that, or 611 or something like that?
Yeah, feel free to call it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let me see if I can track down something here.
I've seen things like this happen a lot recently, and I'm gonna bring this up. This has, unfortunately, it's Buffalo Bills fans. This deals with someone from your team recently. You may have heard that safety Sergio Brown, who's missing after his mother, Myrtle Brown, was found deceased in a creek on Saturday, was reportedly seen taking out trash and burning her clothes in a bonfire, according to footage taken off the Ring camera of Carlos Cortez, a neighbor. They've seen him taking out the trash and they seen him have a bonfire where he burned all of her clothes. Family members of Sergio Brown reportedly told Cortez that he hasn't been acting like himself these past few months. They said he wasn't himself the last few months. He was out of his mind. Myrtle Death Brown was ruled a homicide due to multiple wounds found from assaults. So if you know somebody that's dealing with these types of issues, or maybe he's under mental stress, maybe he has a case of PTSD of something tragic or anything, feel free to give them, some of these resources. Unfortunately, we didn't do cause for cleats today. Something, I don't know why we didn't do it. We should have. And this would have been a good one for anybody that has mental, any type of mental health issues. And actually, let's pull that up. I will do that now.
Yep. And also in Florida, you also nationwide also you can dial. The number is 988. I'm sorry, not 988. Let me get that right. Hold on. Yeah, it's 988. You can also text that number 988 again if you're feeling in any kind of emotional distress or suicidal, as well as you can call the Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. Once again, that's 800-273-8255. And as always, in emergencies, dial 911. You can also hit up the government website, findtreatment.gov. One word, findtreatment.gov.
Mm-hmm. And if you're looking for resources for someone that may, suffer from depression or confusion or mental stress or anything, or, may have any type of tendencies to harm themselves, you may want to refer them to NAMI, which is the National Alliance of Mental Illness. If you didn't know who NAMI are, you can go to NAMI, NAMI.org. Basically, they, if you want to know more about who they are and whatnot, you can go there. Let me pull up their site myself. That's not what I want. Here we go. They bring suicide prevention awareness. They have applications are now open through. You can apply today for some of their things, that different programs and support that they provide. They provide education. There's opportunities to get involved. Here we go. This is really what I was looking for in regards to NAMI. NAMI envisions a world where all people affected by mental illness live healthy, fulfilling lives supported by a community that cares. Their mission, NAMI, provides advocacy, education, support, and public awareness so that all individuals and families affected by mental illness can build better lives. Their values are based on hope, inclusion, empowerment, compassion, and fairness. The National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI, is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization dedicated to building better lives for millions of Americans affected by mental illness. What started as a small group of families gathered around a kitchen table in 1979 has blossomed into the nation's leading voice on mental health. Today, we're an alliance of more than 600 local affiliates and 49 state organizations who work in your community to raise awareness and provide support and education that was not previously available in those of need. If you want to know more about them, like I said, go to NAMI.org. That's NAMI.org. I've talked about them on Cause the Cleats before. I'm just bringing this up because of certain things that have come up in the news lately, and it's just sad to see. You see players like Junior Seau, former Miami Dolphin, had suffered from mental illness. Let it be from CTEs, concussions, or stuff inside or outside the game or whatever. It still falls under this line, and you see players like, I want to say, who is the quarterback from Tennessee that was affected by this? McNair? But then something like this happens.
I believe so.
Yeah. So it's just really sad, and I want to just make awareness to people and let people know that there are resources. So, all right, Color. Let's move on here. I want to make sure the chat gets the recognition they deserve. Let's see what they got in here for us. Let's see.
What the heck did they do to deserve that?
They were nice to me, Color. You should have seen the comments about you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I know. I'm telling you, they don't hesitate, do they? They're like,
Yeah, Crazy Dolphin, Mr. Park is with me. I would have brought in Akeem Hicks, who has familiarity. I would have done this a long time ago. I don't know what you're waiting. Just give him the veterans minimum. He's an older guy anyway, and I'm sure he'll take it. So, Ryan AP, really?
what did Ryan AP say?
Hey, Color, I'm in West Palm Beach if you want the smoke.
Uh-oh.
If you want to smoke, my bad.
If I got you. If I want to smoke, right.
Okay, my bad. I forgot. I read it wrong. I read it wrong.
Well, you could always come. I'm about to go walk to grab some to walk to the gas station real quick this morning to get my morning exercise. You can certainly come grab me and ride me home.
Yeah.
No wheels today, Ali. All on foot.
Keaton DTA says Manalo Rivera 100%. Agba is the reason, and his contract why Miami will not go out and pick up a sure thing, proven vet with a price tag attached. I definitely agree with you, but I don't think that some of these sure things are going to have that big of a price tag to add them. No, I don't think Akeem Hicks is gonna cost that much. Do you think, Color? I mean, is he really gonna command like top dollar? I don't think so. That's just my opinion. Manny B, what's more impressive, Miami Dolphins offense versus Chargers and Patriots defense, or Dallas Cowboys defense versus the Giants and Jets offense? I want to say they're equal, bro. Miami's offense and what they did versus Chargers and Patriots defense, I think, is pretty impressive. But in addition to that, what Dallas Cowboys have done primarily to the Jets and what Micah Parsons doing, that is what's impressive about the Cowboys, to be honest. Because the Cowboys, listen, the Cowboys defense, let's look who they beat. They beat the Giants. I don't really rate their defense very good, to be honest. And I don't rate, their defense play, not their defense. I'm sorry. I don't rate their offense pretty good. So I expected the Cowboys defense to be pretty decent. And then you look at the Jets offense with Zach Wilson. Stephen A. Smith had it right when he was talking yesterday. Stephen A. basically said that he's more impressed with the Dolphins than he is with Dallas. Dallas, if you look at it, Dallas defense went up against two of the most crappiest quarterbacks, in my opinion, that the NFL has. Daniel Jones stole 140 million or plus or whatever, 160 million or whatever it is from the Giants, right? And he played exactly what you and I thought he was, not deserving of 40 million per season whatsoever, right? And then in turn, they went and beat a Aaron Rodgers-less New York Jets offense, whose offensive line is basically a curtain rod being held up, that's holding up a sheet. That's what their offensive line is. Our offensive line, believe it or not, me and you dislike it. We say it's below average or whatever. They are performing at a much higher level than what the Jets' offensive line is, right? They want to say it's not Zach Wilson's fault, but really, your quarterback can get you out of some of those issues and stuff if he is knowledgeable enough and knows what to do with the ball to make things a little bit better. I don't think Zach Wilson is it. He's not the answer for that team. And I expected Cowboys defense to be it, right? So
yeah, not to mention the plays where he just absolutely throws a terrible ball. Like, you take those plays back, right? I mean, forget
forget not being able to overcome or lead or whatever, but you can't even throw the ball right. So
This is
first
true.
first things first, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I'm on Stephen A. Smith's side of this argument that he had, which is the same thing that Manny B is bringing up. What's up, El Cap? How you doing? El Cap, you're on mute or anything, or you can't hear you.
No, it just takes a second once you clip on the mobile.
What's up, sir?
Nothing. Yeah, I was just listening to what you guys were saying, and yeah, you know, the Giants with all that talent on their team, the defense has got talent, the offense has got talent. I was really surprised the way they got worked by the
What
by
talent
the
does their
Cowboys.
offense really have, El Cap? You think about this. Darren Waller, I want to say, was out because of an injury, I heard. So he had an injury in that game. In addition, look at their receivers. I only know
Saquon
one of them, and he's not
injured
even the
again.
best fantasy receiver at all. It's Darius Slayton. Outside of that, who do they got?
I mean,
They
they've
got
got
Saquon Barkley,
got
but that's
Sa-
about it.
Well, I mean, listen, when they're healthy, they've got a number one in the wide receiver. They've got a number one in a running back, true number one. And they got a number one in tight end when they're doing well. And their offensive line isn't that bad for the most part. Their D line's pretty good as well, but they just got worked, bro. Again, Dallas is doing what Dallas does.
Mhm.
They're beating up on the NFC, which they should. They're playing safe football on offense and letting their defense control the game. I'll be interested when they go against another team like San Francisco or like the Dolphins later in the season. Can that offense get out of the running game and push the ball down the field? I'm going to reserve what I think about Dallas right now
Mhm.
until I see this offense with Dak
Not
Prescott
only
in
that,
a must
not only that,
passing situation.
yep,
Mhm.
not only that, Cap, but they have stood up pass rusher, like star pass rusher after star pass rusher up against us. And what have we done? You know, you had going to last year, you had a ghost with in Cleveland, you know, with who's their guy,
Myles Garrett.
Mhm.
Complete shutdown. You know, then even last year, I mean, it's not like Nick Bosa was all over us in the 49ers game, you know.
Yep.
And then of course this year, you know, you got two of them, Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa on the same dang line, and they don't even produce a
don't
sack.
forget Matthew Judon, who's the top 10 pass rusher, bro. And we
Yeah.
held him. He got, I think
To
he
get
got
a coverage sack, right? We
one-
finally get a coverage sack. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Look,
stand
this
him
is-
up. I
this
ain't
is-
afraid of Micah Parsons, man.
Listen, this is why I still think it's more impressive of what the Dolphins are doing. When have you seen the Dolphins start off a season 2-0 where they just beat a last year's playoff team and a top 5 defense back to back on the road? That's impressive, right?
So the only
Dallas-
thing,
Hold on, real quick, El Cap, and I'll let you interject. Dallas, on the other hand, we've seen them year after year start the season 12-5, or how many 13 and
Yeah.
4 or whatever. They
double
always
digit
start
wins
every
in
year,
the
they
season.
blow it. So go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I look at Dallas through a different lens. I don't trust them. I never have. I never will.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. The Dolphins, yeah, we held Bosa and Mack in week 1. But after watching the collapse that they had against the Titans, that win doesn't look as impressive now. You know what I'm saying? Because the Titans, I mean, by all accounts, the Titans suck. You know what I'm saying? They're a team that I had anticipated to be blowing it up, and they're not. Listen, I'm not trying to devalue our wins, because listen, they were both road wins at that. A shootout in the first one, and then against a division opponent where we had to where they took away our our game plan on offense, which is to push the ball down the field. This week against Denver, and I'm gonna do probably tonight. I'm gonna do a little scouting report on Denver. Might even show a little bit of film. I know Denver, with not being star-studded on their D-line, has a great defensive line. They got a great defense. They've got, Surtain in the back there. What are they going to do to scheme up and try to slow down this Miami offense? And what is Russell Wilson, the run game, the passing game? They've got weapons. They got Judy. They got Sutton. They got that young kid, Mims, who Mims to me is the wild card in their offense. It's why I got him on my fantasy team. I wish I would have played him last week. I won my fantasy anyhow, but I wish I would have played him last week because he went off. He only had 2 catches, but he had like 130 yards and a touchdown or 2 touchdowns. It was crazy. That guy you got to watch because he has the ability to get loose and he's super quick. They've got weapons. It's just such an odd team. Like they're kind of blowing it. So the Dolphins should handle their stuff. I'm hoping that because it's our first home game, the team is going to be extra juiced. I just hope that everyone stays with the game plan and guys don't start freelancing trying to, show up and show out. But it does seem like the team has humility. They have understanding. Even though they won against the Patriots, there was an overwhelming feeling that, yeah, we won, but we didn't play our best game. It just seemed like that in the post-game interviews. They were super critical of themselves. I like that. I like a football team that's like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
I think it's starting to weigh on us. I think our team is hungry to put up a huge win against somebody, against an inferior opponent. You know what I mean? It's like
that's what I'm
something
thinking.
always
Where's our
us in the
50
foot.
burger at?
Exactly.
Where's our 50 burger at, bro?
We very well could have got it if we didn't have that mishap against LA at the beginning of the game. That we very well could have had over 40.
Yeah. I just would like to see this offense, especially with this run game finding its footing. And shout out to the offensive line who, bro, for all the talk and concern in the fan base of the offensive line through week 2, without Teron Armstead, the offensive line has only surrendered 1 sack. And again, it was a coverage sack. So against Matthew Judon, who's a great freaking pass rusher. So, it's really, really, really step in the right direction, man. I couldn't be more pleased with the offensive line right now. And I was trying to tell people in the offseason, look, relax on the offensive line. They're comfortable with it. The scheme, all that stuff, that's got to be where they're hanging their hat. And until I see it be a problem, I'm not going to jump off the bridge.
Exactly. And look, most years, this is the point people have made, previous regimes, previous teams, we would have lost these 2 games. We would have been sitting here right now going, well, we played them tough. We should be proud of ourselves. We got a couple things to fix and we'll be fine. We could have beat those guys. Instead, we're saying, no, we beat those guys in their own house. No matter what problems we had, we walked out with a dub.
Well, with this team versus to other teams outside of better coaching, I would say, we have far and away superior talent on both sides of the ball. We're fielding position versus position against opponents. We have better. Now, yeah, okay, they might have a better pass rusher here, or they might have a better, second corner here. But for the most part, offensive weapons, defensive weapons, we're fielding the better weapon. So I had high expectations. My hope was 12 wins. I took a solid 11. But if this continues, and again, I've said this all week now, Mike McDaniel has been very adamant since coming into the building about playing your best football in the latter part of the year. And I get it. I feel like he got away from his game plan with this outside zone blocking and everything like that. He got kind of tunnel vision with the passing game last year, having so much success, plus also proving a point about what Tua Tagovailoa is and what he can get done. That, I don't think he's going to fall into that trap. We don't need to. There's no need to prove with Tua. Tua has proven, and so has Mike McDaniel, that not only can they win, but they can play elite football in that position together. So, to me, it's about winning football games and making sure their trajectory remains on the up throughout the season. So if that's the case, we're looking at these non-mistake-free games week 1 and week 2, and I want to see it get cleaned up each and every week and watch
That's the encouraging thing. While we're getting the dubs on the road with all kinds of issues, what happens if we clean those issues up, man?
Well, you got to remember too, man. First 2 weeks of the season, it's the teams that are better prepared and have less changes made that come out hot. And then by weeks 3, 4, 5, 6, teams start figuring themselves out with their own self-scouting and coaching, and that's when we're in the meat and potatoes of what teams are. Then, as in the third and fourth quarter of the season, injuries start taking effect, and teams are having to pivot to their number 3 running back, to their backup quarterback in certain situations, and that's when teams start falling apart or figuring it out. And to me, as far as depth goes, I just feel very good about this football team, and I hope it continues, man. That's all. And listen, I'm not gonna. And I said this yesterday when Shake was on Miami Sports Music. I'm not gonna freak out if and when we drop a game just because the whole team just came out flat. It's gonna happen, bro.
Right.
Everyone had a rough night. Everyone had a bad travel. No one was in sync. The timing didn't get there with the offense. The defense just was behind a step. It's gonna happen. But
be honest with you, I think there's a couple pieces on this team that, when everybody is having a big old tummy ache like that, we could still pull one through. I mean, we have so many leaders and so many at so many skilled positions.
Talent.
Look, and stacking up wins helps your depth too. That's part of depth, because if you stack up a bunch of wins at the beginning of the season, it becomes easier to take the chance of, oh, this guy's banged up. Yeah, we're probably going to drop this game because we're missing this guy and that guy and the other guy. But what if we steal it? Because we've already stacked up a bunch of wins, we can make that calculus.
Yeah.
I look at like a guy like AVG. Here's a dude that does his job and got his shot and showed up and showed out with Phillips down. What does Phillips do this week? Does Phillips push himself even further? Does he show up and show out double? That's something I'm going to be watching in this game. I'm going to be watching to see what Phillips does.
That is a good point. I definitely want to see what Phillips does. I also want to see more of AVG. I think Agba is going to be on his way out of here with a trade or something. I could see that definitely.
I hope so, bro. I hope so. I'm about sick of him.
I'm going to tell you straight up, Agba does not look like right when he's in a stand-up position. And if they want these edges to go after people in the stand-up position, AVG was doing it like a champ on Sunday night. So that's a legit. Listen, gentlemen, I would love to have this conversation to go further, but I have to shut this down today because I got to get to work. Unless Color wants to bring out his segment of Coffee with a Cup of Color. Did you want to do that, Color, and continue it?
I am currently on foot. I've got a couple things to do this morning, but
no worries.
Maybe later.
Probably. Yeah,
Maybe
I'm looking
later.
to do late because I got pregame talk to go for this week. We've finished talking about any issues or whatever from the last game, so I'm ready to move on to talking about the Broncos. I think that a real quick take on that. I think that we have to expect to see a very similar type of game that we did against the Chargers, being that those teams are all built to beat each other. So they're going to have a
type of makeup. They're going to run a similar system. Whether they have the ability to run the ball on us the way the Chargers did, I doubt it. I'm looking for a big win here, man. Really am. I understand the trap aspect and all that, but I'm trying to put traps and all that in my rearview mirror. I think we should take this game and we should dog walk this team. Honestly,
I don't know what the point total is, but I say take the over.
Yeah, I think so too. Anyway,
right, later.
Gentlemen, I appreciate you. Talk to you guys later. Everyone, hit like and subscribe. Appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll see you guys tomorrow, Wednesday. We'll be talking some of the injury reports.
Today's Wednesday.
Oh yeah, today is Wednesday, isn't it? My bad.
You're closer to Friday, Ali.
Yeah.
Don't worry, dog. I got you.
So, man, make sure you get your Thursday night lineups set for DraftKings as well. So I'll probably advertise what that is tomorrow morning. But anyway, with that being said, you all have a wonderful night, and fins up, everybody.
Fins up.
Yeah.